Hi everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are in my editing suite. I thought it would be nice for you to see where I get all my work done. So here we are. Today we're going to be talking about how to treat lows or hypos or hypoglycemia. Why do we get lows? I tend to get lows because of highs or hypers. Usually when I try to correct my highs, I tend to end up with a low. It could be that you are overcorrecting your highs or your hypers, or that you simply forget to eat or eat too late. To use an example, if my sugar is 12 millimoles per liter, I would correct my sugar with 2 units of fast-acting insulin, which would technically bring my sugar down to 6 millimoles per liter, which is perfect. But what happens when you actually want to eat something as well? I would in that case inject 4 units of fast-acting insulin, technically leaving me at a blood glucose level of 0, which is dead, meaning that I do need to eat as my sugar is coming down. Again, I would eat at about 5.5 or 6 millimoles per liter, depending on the fall rate of my blood glucose level. The fall rate of your blood glucose level could increase maybe due to exercise or stacking. Stacking happens when you inject more than once during the 3 to 4 hours that your fast-acting insulin is active. When you inject 2 units of fast-acting insulin and an hour later you inject another 2 units of fast-acting insulin, stacking will occur. This becomes very risky because your sugar is falling too fast and creates a risk of going into a hypo. Our first instinct is to just eat everything that we see just to get that sugar to start rising, which is not necessarily the best idea because we are over-treating our lows, resulting in a high. And then we would correct our highs again running the risk of going into a hypo and starting the process all over again. Once you start eating all different kinds of things like cake and chocolate, which needs to break down first, it takes quite some time to get into your system. I try to use simple, fast-acting carbs or sugar to get out of my hypo. If you do go into an extreme low and you start getting disorientated, irritated, sweaty, it could mean that you are already too low to eat something. You would have to consume something fast-acting like a cool drink with high sugar content in order for your sugar not to go too low and for you to lose consciousness. If your sugar is most of the time low, your hypo or low awareness might not be as active as someone whose sugar is constantly high. If your sugar is constantly high and it comes down to 5 or 4, you would definitely feel your hypo. If your hypo awareness is very low, it's good to check your sugar rather than to rely on your body to let you know that you are going into a low. Get your cool drink, your fast-acting, simple carb, high sugar content cool drink and start drinking. A good rule of thumb is to drink about 15 to 20 grams of carbs or sugar. Be sure to check your sugar regularly every 5 to 10 minutes to see if your sugar is actually turning and starting to rise. My cool drink of choice is a Powerade. Powerade contains about 8 grams of carbs for every 100 ml. So if I drink 200 ml of Powerade, that would mean that I'm consuming about 16 grams of carbs. Fast-acting, simple carbs. I tend to avoid sodas just because the gas makes it difficult to consume quickly. So a fruit juice or maybe something like a Powerade or an Energade would be great and easy to consume. Even though something like a Coke has more carbs and sugar in it, it's difficult to consume. Check your label to see how much carbs is in your cool drink and try to consume about 15 to 20 grams of carbs. If that's 100 ml or 300 ml, it doesn't matter. It's good to have something with you all the time in case you are going into a low. Have your cool drink with you in the car, at home, know where it is. If you do go into a low, remember that your cool drink is your first go-to. There's a product called Dexcom. It's a tablet that dissolves in your mouth. I feel a cool drink is still a better option. With Dexcom, you'll have to eat about 5 tablets. It's always good to follow up your treatment of your low with something to eat, maybe a sandwich, just something that can stabilize your sugar, because if you don't, your sugar will go down again and you will have to consume cool drink once again. Cool drink doesn't stay in your system as long as food. So if your sugar starts rising from your cool drink, remember that it will go down again if you don't stabilize it with some kind of food. If you are on a CGM, it's a good idea to still use your finger pricks with your CGM to see if they are on the same level. It can sometimes happen that your CGM is out with maybe 1 or 2 millimoles per liter. So it's good to check your actual sugar with your finger pricks. It's always good to have someone with you and to let people know that you are going into a low. Give your glucagon kit to someone who understands how to use it in case that you might lose consciousness and you can't consume any more carbs. If this happens, that person would have to use the glucagon pen and phone an ambulance. The glucagon kit is a completely different subject and we will go into more detail on this in a future episode. Let me know if there's any cool drink that you prefer, something with a high sugar content that's healthy or not as bad for you as Powerade. If there's anything else that I've left out or that you want to add or suggest, please do leave your comments. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time.